Hello everyone. I, 34 meters, found my wife, 33F, in our bed with another man. A little background. For the sake of my sanity I will refer to wife as Ellie, my best friend's name is Omar. Not real names. Ellie and I met in college and hit it off right away. When we started dating I was not really assertive. You could accurately say that it was her showing interest and desire in me that made me really begin to value myself and work past a ton of insecurities I used to deal with. I was just a hard-working, nerdy smart dude, but had never had any real luck with women. To me it was almost incredible that someone as smart and beautiful as her would show as much interest in me as I showed in her. We both have always been driven, which led to us separately building small businesses of our own by the time we graduated college. We moved in together after graduation and a year later married. We had, what I considered, a very strong marriage. We had weathered family tragedies, professional challenges, small and large disagreements, and always managed to work through everything, and I felt it always made us stronger. Ellie has always had a huge social circle that included a fair number of men, but I never thought too much about it as she never did anything that raised flags, since all social outings seemed to always be as a large mixed group, and I came to trust her closest friends. As our 10-year anniversary was coming up I decided to bring up the topic of starting a family. Early on in the relationship we had together decided to compromise on the size of our family. I wanted kids, she wanted none or at most one, so we agreed on having one. Now 10 years into our marriage, secure economically and thinking how healthy though our relationship was, I brought the topic up. I can't help but think me doing this may have started this whole chain of events. A little over 3 months ago she tells me she is going out with her friends to have some fun. She basically told me she needed to unwind as she was getting stressed about me asking about having kids again. That night she comes back at 4 a.m. Starting with that day our bedroom goes completely dead. In our relationship Ellie has always initiated as much as me, in fact on average I would say more often than me, and for rare periods when we were dealing with traveling I can't think of us ever going more than 5 days without some form of intimacy. She starts going out more, guarding her phone, avoiding me, all this stuff I had never seen from her before. After about 3 to 4 weeks of this I talk to Omar, my best friend, and he points me to Reddit and I start reading. Eventually I decide I need to do something about this as it's beginning to put me in a bad mood. I don't just want to trust her, I like to trusting my wife, I need to trust her. Well, needless to say I get my hands on her phone and check her calls and texts, feeling like a complete monster violating her privacy. Turns out that one of the people new to her social circle is an old high school flame from before we were together. The more I dug, the more I found. I think the fact I'd always trusted her completely made her complacent about hiding the affair better. I found out that during that party a month before, he had attended, and they spent all night catching up and ended up kissing, not even really hiding it from her whole group of friends and then conveniently going to the bathroom at the same time. Up to this point all I had felt has been this giant pit of anxiety in my stomach, a part of me trying to hold on to the image of the woman I thought I had married, a kind of self-delusion. But the anger and sadness start getting overwhelming, made worse by the fact that she seems oblivious to my sudden indifference. She didn't notice I had stopped making romantic gestures. I felt like I was breaking inside. Finally a month ago I decided to catch them in the act and I tell Ellie I'm going to visit my cousin for the weekend. He lives 3 hours away, but instead I go stay with Omar who has been helping me record and copy everything. I waited and sure enough, she brought him to our house to our bed. I snuck in the house and made my way to our room and the sounds left no doubts. They were so into it they didn't notice me standing there at the door recording them with my phone. I literally felt something in me break, like something in my soul snapped so hard I could hear it. My veins went ice cold and something like a 10-ton anvil had been dropped on my chest. I couldn't breathe. I went numb. This next part I can only tell you what Omar says happened because I only remember parts of the next few minutes. According to Omar, who I had brought as a witness, apparently I walked up to them, pulled the guy off the bed and Omar pulled me off of him. I remember Omar holding me down on the ground. After that there was the normal hysterics of being caught. I went no contact for 5 weeks and began working with a lawyer preparing for the worst. Omar served as her contact point during that time since I simply didn't want to talk with her. Ellie contacted my family and told them that we are having problems. After the 5 weeks of NC we met and talked. She was remorseful, told me it wasn't my fault, that it was all her doing, her responsibility and her decisions. We decided to go to marriage counseling and at least explore if there is anything salvageable. Sitting here I can't believe that even after that, I still love her. I am disgusted with myself that I have thought about her well-being, about her happiness. I especially hate that now I have to question our entire relationship. Was it just now that she got brazen about cheating, or has it happened before and I didn't bother looking far enough or was too stupidly trusting to see it at all? It's been now almost a month since deciding to try marriage counseling, and my questions to those who have already gone through this are the following. 1. Is it possible to reconcile without feeling that you lose some self-respect? 2. How long does the anger to sadness to numbness, rinse and repeat cycle last? I'm getting exhausted of the constant emotional roller coaster. 3. I find myself really loathing the whole idea of having to essentially be on the constant lookout. Is that a sign of me wanting out or just me being exhausted, 'cause I honestly can't tell? I'll take any advice, honestly. I love her, I've been head over heels for her since we met back in college, I want to work it out. Is it actually possible, and if it is, will it ever resemble what it used to be even remotely? Comment 1. My friend, she is not really remorseful about breaking the marriage. She is remorseful she got caught. Please see the difference. The best choice for you is to stop reconciliation and just divorce her. Give the evidence to your family and friends to dissolve her having problems BS. You deserve better. Sometimes saying I love you isn't enough. It's about what you do, and she cheating on you shows she doesn't love you. She just loves the comfortable lifestyle. Comment 2. I'm pretty sure this is far from the first time she has cheated. She was just too comfortable inviting her AP into your bed. Meaning, she has absolutely zero respect over you. A marriage can't survive that, but I'm sorry. The only choice you have is divorce. I know it hurts, but it will hurt a hell of a lot worse if you take her back. Damn dude, she is cold as ice. Comment 3. Brother, you are an intelligent guy, think a little. What your wife did, he has no forgiveness. He ducked this guy in front of all his friends in the bathroom. Then he took him home and he ducked in your bed, something sacred, the marriage bed. You are wasting your time with this woman, she has always been a cheater. Maybe this is the only time you discovered, you open-raised children of another man. Brother, even if you try to justify, this has no justification, really nothing justifies it, even if it says what it says, it has no forgiveness for the damage it did, it is irreparable, you can never overcome these facts, read a little, you will begin to reject it and to hate her, you will be disgusted to be by her side. What she did is not something surmountable, the bathroom first, without any shame, being all her friends, and I will duck him anyway. Imagine her attitude being alone. Brother, stop doing marriage therapy, it was she who destroyed your marriage. There are thousands of women, with values and principles, I don't think you want this woman to be the mother of your children. Wake up brother, end this farce. Comment 4. To put things in context, it's not about the loss of self-respect. It's the loss of respect for each other. I assure you, reconciliation is possible, but your view of her is now radically altered for the worse. You are never going to forget what you saw, if you live to be 100. You may be able to numb the visions of imagining them having time together after a few years with therapy and a lot of drinking, but you won't exactly forget it. Triggers are going to rule your life. I wish there were happier news. Yes, it's possible. But it won't be the same marriage. It will be something new and different, and not nearly as rewarding as the marriage you thought you had. 2. How long does the anger to sadness to numbness, rinse and repeat cycle last? I'm getting exhausted of the constant emotional roller coaster. You are not a light switch. You can't switch deep emotional trauma on and off as easy as that. The best you can hope for is a bit of guarded neutrality for a while. She hurt you really, really badly, maybe the worst pain a person can go through. You don't just slap a band-aid on that and sweep it under the rug. You have to address that. I'd recommend therapy for you at least. You need to take care of yourself now. She certainly doesn't have your back. Trust isn't rebuilt overnight, so you are going to feel defensive and wounded until a minimum of trust is rebuilt, and that takes years and years. 3. I find myself really loathing the whole idea of having to essentially be on the constant lookout. Is that a sign of me wanting out or just me being exhausted, 'cause I honestly can't tell? You don't want to be marriage cop. Seriously, who would? The alternative is to just take her word that she is doing everything you ask to create a new marriage with you. Personally, I don't go to a proven liar for verbal assurances. It seems like a foolish waste of time. Only by actions, not promises, can you even begin to trust someone, anyone. They can't just seem trustworthy, they have to be trustworthy, defined by their actions and follow through. What has she done to make you feel safe? I'll take any advice, honestly. I love her, I've been head over heels for her since we met back. I'll say this very gently, because I do believe you. So this isn't me being my typical cynical self. I do think you love a vision of her. But this person you are currently legally married to. That's definitely not the woman you married. This person is perfectly capable of betraying your love, trampling on your care and affection, and destroying your mutual plans. She did do that. The sooner you accept that the better. She wanted time with another man, she didn't even bother hiding that fact from her social circle. She planned it, she made decisions based on what she wanted, and well, here you are, right? I always judge a marriage by the symbiotic relationship of love, trust, and respect. Please tell me how well any of those apply to her right now? You can say you love her, but think about it, were her actions remotely loving? She says so now, but she's been caught. You yourself wonder if you'll ever trust her again. See your point 3, as for respect. Come on, man, I think this sort of speaks to the level of respect she had for you, your marriage, even the whole idea of being married. I suggest you ask her, seriously, what marriage even means at this point. Love whom you please, but don't love a woman who will ruin you. I suspect this woman will. Take care, be strong, and make good decisions. Don't be in a rush. Don't think about today, think about 10 years from now. Will you be able to look at yourself in the mirror every morning, wondering if you did the right thing? Comment 5. User avatar level 1 Brewhouse 9 middle.7 mo. Ago I'll answer you with my own experience. Yes, self-respect is lost. People that know about her cheating will treat you differently, and your option, you'll find some second guessing you, if that makes sense. The anger and sadness will come and go, it can be triggered by the smallest of things. It's 8 years for me, and every now and again it happens, not as much these days, but we were together for 13 years, so that's a lot of memories that have to be forgotten and rewritten. As for constantly on the lookout, do you want to live with having no trust in her? I tried for 18 months, wasn't sleeping or eating right, and was always on edge. My health suffered, as did my relationships with other people. I found myself questioning everyone and everything. That's my story, but we are all different, so for you it might be the opposite, and I hope it is, but either way it's your choice, so take your time and be strong. Comment 6. Literally and symbolically, she destroyed your marriage as forcefully as it can be done. Regardless of whatever bullshit she might be spewing now, it was her intention, whether consciously or subconsciously, to scorch the earth under your marriage and obliterate it beyond hope of salvation. You don't need her to make a happy life for yourself. In fact, you need the opposite of her. Don't try to reconcile. Get your friends to tie you to the mast whenever you start talking about it and not let you go until the hysteria passes. Get away from her ASAP. Don't seek closure, don't let her beg for it. She killed your marriage without hesitation. Rid yourself of her the same way. Comment 7. Sorry to welcome you to this lousy club. I'm still with DH almost 6 years after I discovered his affair. We were married 10 years at the time and our daughter was 8. It almost destroyed me, and it was a good 2 years before I stopped thinking about it constantly and feeling like I'd been kicked in the gut all the time. Another year or two before I could put it out of mind for long periods of time. In the beginning, when I was deciding whether or not to even consider staying married, I definitely lost a lot of self-respect. But what I gained as time went on was recognizing strength I never thought I had. Not a good way to test such a thing, of course. The best thing I did was make him prove to me that we should stay married. He worked his ass off to do so and still does. Also, although I didn't stay for my daughter, she was a consideration. If you do love her and want to try to stay together, know that it will be a rough road. And she has to be in at 150% or it's pointless. But, my experience is that it can be done. Take care. Comment 8. Your wife cheated because she values her own desires more than your relationship, and lacks the needed respect for you to handle that in a healthy way. She wasn't going to tell you and wasn't going to stop. You can't trust someone that doesn't respect you because their own desires will always be their priority. At the moment, your wife's primary goal is to keep you. Once she's confident that you won't leave, she'll get back in touch with this guy or start looking for another. No, you can't stay and end this relationship without your self-respect taking a huge hit. Comment 9. She was never about to have kids. She only said okay to one and kept hoping she could drag out on it. 10 years and she cheated in your bed. Somehow I don't even think it was the first time, since she was so comfortable kissing him openly in front of friends. They seem used to this BS from her side, she's too comfortable around them with her crap. Only reason why she's all remorseful is because she got caught. She seems to be the type that wants what she can't have. Therefore she chased you at the beginning, then when you said kids, which means forever, she started chasing that other dude, and now she got caught and back to chasing you again. You know how you win this? By getting a divorce and forever be the man she can't have. Also, you don't want kids with this one, everyone's been dipping. If you really think about it, you're not hurting this much because you love her, you are hurting this much because she disrespected you, and you actually know your own worth and respect yourself so much that trying to forgive her is being so painful. Because to be able to forgive her, you must give up your self-respect, and that's so hurtful because you actually do love yourself. Don't damage yourself like this. She isn't worth it. Trust me. Comment 10. Sorry, you found out that your wife does not love you, and does not respect you. Dude, she was ducking another guy in your bed. That is something that you do not recover from. Understand that this was not your fault, this is all on her. She is the one who cheated, betrayed you, disrespected you, lied to you, deceived you, broke her wedding vows, ducked another guy, destroyed your marriage, and your happiness. You cannot reconcile with her, she can only reconcile with you. You cannot forgive her, you have no idea what you would be forgiving. Your marriage and relationship, as you knew it, are over. It will never be the same, and you will never forget the betrayal, and the image of her ducking another guy. Blow up her fantasy world, tell your family, her family, and all your friends, what she had done. Get your story out first, or she will tell a very different story, and you will be the bad guy. Never cover up for a cheater. If they do not suffer the consequences of their actions, they never stop, and just get better at hiding it. If the guy she was ducking is a coworker, tell their company. If he is married or has a significant other, then tell her. Lawyer up, get your options, and file and serve her. If you want to attempt to reconcile, tell her that she has until it is final, to convince you to stop it. Stay strong, you can get through this. I know that this sucks, and will probably get worse before it get better, but over time, it will get better. All the best to you. Thanks you for watching. Everyday new movies. See you soon.